Hi everyone, welcome to the 50th session of Python for Machine Learning. In this session, we will learn about the difference between supervised, unsupervised, and semi-supervised machine learning. Well, a supervised learning is where you have the input variable x and an output variable we need to determine. Like we will have the two data sets, for example, one is the train data set and the test data set, and based on the training your model, we need to predict the values. For example, if we have the years of experience as my features and my skill set as the other feature and educational qualification as my third feature, I need to predict my salary as my label or my output. So based on this three input variable, I need to predict the output, which is my salary. We basically use a regression and classification model for supervised learning. Well, the output of regression column is the output of a regression model or an algorithm is a continuous variable, for example, a salary or the outlet sales or any number which may be continuous. In case of output of classification is a discrete number, for example, whether the person will survive or die in the Titanic ship, or whether the loan will be passed or not, or whether India will win the match or not. In case of unsupervised learning, it is something in which we have the input variable and we don't know the output variable. In the case of unsupervised learning, it's all about creating the clusters and determining the and finding the predicting the points in that where the point will lie in which clusters. We use algorithms like K-means, hierarchical clustering, and Apriori to cluster the data and get the insights. We call them as unsupervised learning because unlike supervised learning, there is no correct answers. Like if we take the supervised learning, we have the two data set. One is a train data set and one is a test data set. The number of column in your trained data set will be one more than your number of your column in your test data set. Whereas in case of unsupervised learning, there will be only one data set where there will be like the number of column will be same in your train and test. First, we need to create your cluster using your trained data set, and based on this, you need to predict the points, the output of the test data set. Unsupervised learning problem can be further grouped into like different categories like clustering and association problem. A clustering problem is where we want to discover the pattern in the data. Like the different here you can see this is pattern A, this is pattern B. So this is cluster B and this is cluster A. And we can the example of clustering can be such as grouping the fishes based on the length, breadth, and width, or grouping the grains that we eat based on their dimensions. Again, the association learning or association rule learning is a rule-based machine learning method for discovering interesting relationship between variables in the large databases. It is intended to identify strong rule discovered especially in the databases using some measure of approaches. Now, what is a semi-supervised machine learning? It comes in the problem where we have a large amount of input data and only some of the data is like labeled. For example, we have a huge amount of data like pictures, okay? Like we have a huge amount of data set input and only very few of them like is labeled. For example, you take the picture of apple, tomato, and oranges. So only few of the pictures is labeled, and we are supposed to find like using this semi-supervised learning. We have to predict the rest of the pictures. Since it can be like very expensive and time consuming to label the data as it requires domain expert. So many real world machine learning problem falls into this area. So it's cheap and easy to collect and store the unlabeled data, and using this algorithm we can like predict the correct answer. So I hope you understand or you can relate something at least about this supervised, unsupervised, and semi supervised learning. So thanks a lot for watching this session. If you feel this video is helpful, please press the like button and subscribe to this channel. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.